working on a 2003 LB7 Duramax diesel, and we're going to be performing a repair. What we're going to do is start off by replacing the fuel filter. Whenever you're messing with the fuel system, it's always a good idea to replace the fuel filter. The fuel filter is this white thing right down here, and combined with the fuel filter is the water separator. And so that water separator is down at the bottom. You have your primer up here on top, so if you ever have to prime the system, you just pump that right there. What you're going to want to start off by doing is unplugging the water and fuel sensor. That's down beneath here, and it's actually this blue wire right down there. Press this pin right here. So that's what you're going to start off with, and then what you're going to do is just go ahead and screw the old filter off counterclockwise. You're going to need a pan or something because there's going to be fuel in there that's going to spill if you don't have something to catch it. Now once you pull it out, just go ahead and put it in a container, turn it upside down, and you'll see a bunch of diesel fuel come out. Obviously we're not going to be reusing this. Now we need to move this water and fuel sensor over from the old fuel filter over to the new one, so I'm just going to go ahead and get some channel locks, turn that out. So then we're just going to go ahead and keep turning it out, and it'll pull out, and you'll see here it is. Now we're going to want to remove this O-ring and install the new one. So as you can see, I have a new AC Delco fuel filter. Pull it out of the box, and there's two O-rings here. The smaller O-ring is the one we're going to go ahead and put on the water and fuel sensor. I have a cap full of oil here. I'm just going to go ahead and dab my finger on that and rub it around this O-ring. Make sure it gets a little bit of lubrication on it before I install it. So as you can see, I have the old O-ring off. I'm going to go ahead and put this new O-ring on that I had lubricated. Do me a favor, don't double stack the O-rings. And now that the O-ring's back on, I'm going to go ahead and come over here to the new filter and just nicely thread it in. I'm going to thread it in by hand until it's snug, and then just give it a little bit more with the channel locks. Now there is one more O-ring that came with the package, and that's the O-ring for the actual filter to the housing, and so that's down right here. And once again, I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of motor oil, go around that. And now that that's lubricated, I'm just going to go ahead and put it down in this crevice here around the fuel filter, and it's ready to install. Now do me a favor, there's some YouTube videos out there that show you filling the filter full of fuel. Let's not do that. That's actually a pretty bad decision. Basically what you're doing there is you're allowing fuel to bypass the fuel filter. Tolerances on these diesel engines are down into the microns, smaller than your hair. So let's not dump the fuel in the filter. Let's do this properly and just bleed the system, get the fuel up there the right way, and prevent thousands of dollars in injector repairs, CP3 repairs, and everything else. Now you're just going to want to go ahead and double check your gasket surface, make sure it's all flush with that O-ring, and then screw it back in clockwise. You're going to want to go hand tight, and then about a quarter turn more with your hand. Now once the filter's screwed in nice and tight, just start pumping the high-end primer. Now don't forget to go ahead and plug that connector back together right down there. The blue wire needs to go back into that female connector. And then what you're going to go ahead and do is, once you've been pumping it for a while, press and hold it down, and then the screw that's located right here, flathead screw, you're going to want to make sure this is pressed down, then turn that to the left, just crack it a little bit of fuel will come out, and then you're on, just let the fuel come out, close it off, and then once it's closed off, you can let your hand off and just repeat a couple times. That's going to bleed the rest of the air out of the system, and soon enough you'll be ready to start it. Turn the key, try and start it, and maybe a bit of an extended crank as fuel works its way up. Come around and just make sure we don't have any leaks. Everything looks good.